Hello, I'm Mike of New Left Dice. This is the Kerbal Space Program. Okie dokie, I have caught myself a very dark space rock. It is basically just, you can just about see some details if you get up really close. Do I have any lights on this actually? I have no lights on this craft. Oh well, never mind. Okie dokie, picking up a pokey. I captured an asteroid, so I captured a space rock. Very dark space rock, as you can see. And so I was very impressed with that. The last time I tried to do this pretty much exact same scenario in the training, I found it very difficult. But with precise node and a bit of luck, it all worked great. So what I want to currently do is not that. I want we'll circularize to begin with if I can. How many delta V's have I got? I've got action. Well, I was about to say not that many, but it looks like I don't need that many. I'm kind of curious as to whether or not whether I could get some kind of whoop, there we go. Oh, there we go. Could I bring this in? Could I land this? Probably not. I think the main problem I would have, apart from the fact I don't think I've got the delta V for it, the main problem is I would have to somehow, I'm really not entirely sure where I would get the parachutes from. Or can I just, what happens if I drop this thing in the atmosphere? Right, so what have we got? I'm just seeing why it's telling me I've got such low delta V, and obviously part of it is I'm now hauling an enormous space rock, which I wasn't before. I was wondering if I could move fuel around, but no, because these they only take liquid fuel. Sorry, yeah. So these have no oxidizer attached to them, which is in fact which is exactly what it should be. So I've got just enough delta V in this stage to get things done for this turn. And then I'm going to have another 215 delta Vs. I may get more when I dump this, but I don't know if Kerbal engineer may be clever enough to work that out. Now, maneuvering is going to be somewhat entertaining, I suspect. Given that I am attached to, I believe I mentioned this before, an enormous space rock. Well, there you go. There's some detail on there. Obviously, this side is just dark. So how much have I got in the way of monoprop? I've got to figure out that. I think I'll be right. Oh, that's a very weird. Okay. Space rock is coloured weird. Now suddenly it's all bright and shiny and I can see all sorts of bits of it. That's really weird. But I am hopefully gradually pointing towards the maneuver node. I'm fairly sure that I'm pretty much pointing through the center of mass of the asteroid. My space rock, which is now no longer completely impossible to see. There was some weird graphics stuff going on there. That was very strange. In fact, there's weird graphic stuff still going on, so we'll just get on with that. Oh, we do have RCS all the way down here. That makes sense. Not very much. I would have expected more. I would have expected. Oh, that's interesting. They have. Well, there's another weird design that keeps coming up in these things where they don't have stuff that I would expect. Like I would expect thrusters down here as well as up and down. Oh, never mind. So we're getting there. So let's go back to the map view. What we're going to do is we're going to warp to the next maneuver. And we're going to perform that maneuver. I'm going to see what we're going to do. What I would quite like to do, but I almost certainly do not have the Delta V to do it, is just get that rock into the atmosphere and just watch it crash. Because this is a scenario. I don't, it's not real life. When do I need to go? Oh, I need to go ages ago. Oh well. Oh no, yeah, I need to go 30 odd seconds ago. Oh well, never mind. I should have used Kerbal alarm clock because I suspect warp to node just takes you to a minute before the node, whereas what I wanted to do was a minute plus the half burn time. But never mind. I suspect this is one of those situations where 30 seconds ain't going to be that much of a difference. We're keeping pretty much on course. The only problem here is wobble. Still can't look out, which is a bit annoying. I really want to see out. So it's a bit wobbly, but we are basically pointing in the right direction, which is pretty cool. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try and push this all the way in. I wonder if what I shouldn't have done is actually try and slingshot around the mun, because I probably could have done a slingshot around the mun. Why have we stopped? Are we going out? Ah, right. I was looking at the Delta V thing wrong. I was forgetting that the stages tend to go down the way. So it said I only had about 200, and then so the 200 was actually in that back end, which is now all the way over there. And the 300 odd was in this front end. Okay, fair enough. So we don't have a huge amount of thrust to weight ratio at the minute. Oh no, we do. Five and a bit. That's not too bad actually. So what I might do is just once this is finished, just point retrograde, which I almost am anyway. Just point retrograde and just burn until we run out of fuel and see what happens. If we get into the atmosphere, I quite like that. I mean, I can possibly then dump the actual asteroid, circularize the ship. Though this is all imaginary. It doesn't really matter. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. Okay. So let's just point retrograde and just see what happens. The absolute worst that happens, in my opinion, oh yeah, sorry, for some strange reason I thought that was going out. But it was not. That's fine. Got another 2 minutes of this. I don't know if this is going to really pull. So it looks like we're going to end up with a bit of an eccentric orbit, and that's about it. I'm not going to be able to get anything resembling. I'm not going to be able to get in. I haven't installed Hyperedit, which is a pity. Hyperedit might have enabled me to do this. Well, Hyperedit would have been able to do this because I could just chuck in more fuel and everything would be fine. Yeah, we're getting quite eccentric. But, well, having said that, I was about to say, oh, we're getting quite close, but that we're still like over, 1,500 kilometers out. Yeah. So I don't think we're going to be ending up under 70k. Even though we've got 40 odd seconds to go. It would be nice if we did, but I don't think we are. Right, we're putting. Yeah, other than, unless I want to chuck in some monopropellant, which I don't think is going to make that much of a difference. So here we are, running out. And we're still over 1,000 kilometers out. I'm currently, you can't really see me doing this, but I'm currently pressing the H key, which would theoretically, yeah, there you go. Slowing us down, like, not a lot. Using tiny amounts of RCS here. Oh no, I should have, see, I can go to the, I don't know if I can do this. If I go to infinite propellant, there we go. Infinite propellant, let's go to infinite propellant. So we had failed, right? We had failed, that's it. Well, not failed, but this is all I was going to get to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm cheating away, busily cheating, and I'm going to see what happens if I drop the thing. So, in terms of the mission, in terms of the actual mission, which is capture an asteroid, we captured an asteroid. Theoretically, I would then have gone back to the space center and then, I'd have built a new ship and sent something up because we probably would have had to go rescue this guy, stuff like that. But the way this is set up, I actually can't. I've hit escape. I've got resumed flight and end scenario. That's it. The only reason I was able to get back to this was that I'd done a quick save before I exited. So interesting, I cannot go back to the Space Center on this scenario. I can only quit the whole thing. And if I start it up again, it starts me off right from the beginning again, instead of other scenarios which you basically continue from where you left off. It's interesting that you can do that. There's you can set up these scenarios in such a way that you can be able to continue or not. But because I had a quick save, I was in fact able to continue. So I succeeded. I got a circular orbit. We would have been able to, if it had been an actual game that I was playing, I would have been able to go fetch the craft. And then maybe send up another maneuvering thing to get the asteroid. another thing that would have been quite neat would have been to have it's quiet. Why is it so quiet? Another thing would have been interesting would be to have a mining rig on here. Right. Yeah, so then I could just grab fuel as much as I wanted. Now, let's go for... Now, here's a question for you, actually. If I release the space rock, can I follow the space rock? Right, so that's our current... That should bring us in. Wow, we're quite hot. Look at that. Let's bring up a thermal. Wow, that's quite hot. 11? Yeah. Now, if we can't get our space rock, right, what I want to do is I want... Now, can I? Right, there's no ships. And I can't swap ships in this scenario. Okay. Well... Oh, hang on. Right, let's go back a bit, shall we? I need to go target. That's what I need to do. Let's point at our targets. And we can actually use the RCS keys to point ourselves very accurately towards it. Well, we engage. So I'm actually going to go in. I'm going to go in. I don't care if it's a really dumb idea. I'm going to do it anyway. This is not really Bill, so it doesn't really matter. It's not actually Bill who's going to be going careening into the atmosphere. It's a fake simulated Bill. There we go. Where are we going? We're going here, so let's warp to there. We want to point prograde. Admittedly, it'll take a while for us to point prograde. We want to point prograde because that way the asteroid, the big rock, is the thing that's coming in. Okay. Still seem to be targeting the center of mass, so there you go. I have no idea what's going to happen. Now, what is going to happen is that we're going to crash and die because there's no way of slowing this thing down. But what I'm interested in is, will the asteroid burn up? So it doesn't matter if Bill dies. It's a fake Bill. It's a fake everything. We'll put on heat. The critical thermal percentage is just going up. So the rocks, asteroids don't act as heat shields. I think that's something we have learned today. Or is it evening out? Bill might survive actually because I'm. Oh no, I can't EVA. I can't even do the EVA thing where you leap out of the aircraft and bounce off your helmet. Have a quick look at the thermal. Yep, quite hot. We got some resources, but it doesn't really matter. There's nothing I can do about it. The asteroid is not sure if it's hot. Okay, critical thermal percentage. Something is about to explode, but I don't know what. We're about to hit 100%. And so the rock is continuing on going, but I can no longer get to the rock because the rock doesn't have. There we go. And also the rock now there's nothing attached to the rock. The rock probably is no longer going to decelerate. Go with that. So you see, it's not changing at all. But it's a pity. I can't. It'd be quite funny if I could go to the rock and follow it as a ship, because it doesn't have any part of Kerbal space program attached to it. There you go. So we have learned today that asteroids do not act as heat shields. I'm just turning off infinite fuel, or I'm going to get confused. Anyway, so there we go. We learned a thing today. Don't use asteroids as heat shields. Don't try and bring I mean, I'm sure I would have to do a whole other thing to bring an asteroid in to do anything else. So I am going to. Well, I'm just going to let it. It doesn't really matter. So thanks so much for watching. Do hit like and subscribe. If you're enjoying these videos, come visit me on updice.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. You can find us, and there are links in the video description and all sorts of other places. And until next time, reach the stars and do not use asteroids as heat shields.